Get ready for the Leader Chat Room with Paul Kramer, featuring Lifestyle Elite Global Marketing Directors.
Good morning, Lifestylers. Paul Kramer coming to you live from the Leader Chat Room at Lifestyle's home office in Toronto, Canada. Great to be with everybody today. This is our final Leader Chat Room for 2022. I've got a fabulous guest. We're going out in style today, folks. But just before I introduce her, I'd like to say thank you to our last guest on the Leader Chat Room. Actually, we were his guest in his house, GMD Raymil Doi Doi. Raymil, thanks so much again for inviting us into your house, into your home. It was fabulous. I think people really got a good look at your GMD lifestyle and all the amazing things that Lifestyles has brought to your life, and it was fabulous. So thank you so much to GMD Raymil. Now, without further ado, let's get to this week's guest. She joined Lifestyles in March of 2018. She was promoted to IMD in November of 2020. She was promoted to Global Marketing Director January of 2021. She is our winner of the 2019 Top PGV Award and the winner of the 2020 Rising Star Award. So let's bring into the Leader Chat Room from Iloilo, Global Marketing Director Christine Tantan Cadiang. Christine, good morning.
Good morning, Paul.
Tan, how are you? Great to have you with us. Thank you so much for joining us. You are our final guest for the 2022 for the Leader Chat Room. So welcome in and thanks for joining us.
Yes, that's what I heard.
Okay. Well, you've got a great story. We're going to get into the whole thing, let everybody get to know you a lot better and see how Lifestyles has changed your life. But let's get right back to the beginning when you were just a young kid. You were the youngest of 7 siblings. Your father owned a radiator repair shop, and your mom sold 2 foods. I'm gonna try to pronounce these, folks. One is puto, and the other is cuchinta. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, you got it.
All right, good. So your mom sold those 2 foods to support the family. Now, you lived in a squatter's area, right, when you were very young, and you didn't mind that. We've got a great picture here of you as just a very, very youngster. Look at that. So tell us about living in the squatter's area, and tell us why you didn't mind that.
Well, primarily, I enjoyed my life as a kid, Paul. That's why I play around with other kids, and my mom see to it that we had things that we need. That's why really I didn't mind being there. Maybe I did think that I lived in the squatters.
Right. So it was kind of normal, right? And you know, your dad was a very jolly parent, right? He was the more easygoing, and your mom was more a disciplinarian, right? So tell us, you know, you had to clean the house and things like that. So tell us, when you were a kid, did you have to do a lot of work? Did you have to help support the family? Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, it's always fun to reminisce this kind of memories, Paul. Because early on, when my mom when we're still kids, our mom will try to discipline us. Alam mo yung, every Saturday, you will hear my mom talk a lot if you don't get up at 7 a.m.
Okay, good.
And then what we need to do is we'll have to sweep the floor, we'll have to mop the floor, and I'm not sure if this is still in right now, but we have that scrub and floor wax. So that's what we do, because we need to have our house clean, as into the letter clean.
Right.
You know, when she wipes the table with her hands or fingers, there should be no dust in it.
Wow, she's tough that way, right? That's quite a test.
Yes.
That's quite a test. Well, you were an average student during elementary school, but you really enjoyed sports, right? So you're a real sports person. In particular, you're a volleyball player, right? And you played on the varsity team. We've got some great pictures here of you. Here you are. You have to tell us what the sleeping bag picture means in a second. But when you were playing volleyball, you learned a lot about teamwork. You learned a lot about discipline, and you were even offered scholarships, to Manila. So tell us a bit about your experience with sports and with volleyball in particular, and how that sort of shaped who you are today.
Yes, I really love sports, Paul. Maybe this is maybe because it brings out the best version of me, and I'm kind of pushed into really doing my best and to make sure that my skills are up there. I like playing with the very good guys because I have to up my skills. I have to jog with them, to play with them. If they hit my head with a ball, it's okay. because it motivates me to do better. Next time, I don't get hit with a ball.
Right.
So those sports years of my life, it made me to be a person of determination, because if I don't, I won't get scholarship, because I do have scholarship when I was in my college years.
No, that's very important, because I know that sort of skill really helps you in what you're doing now, as a global marketing director, and we're going to get into that as well. But so you went to you studied engineering, right? And while you were in engineering school, you even taught volleyball part time. And there's a story here about you having a problem writing your schoolwork because your hands were shaking so much from the coaching and playing volleyball and everything. So we've got a great picture here of you. You made it to the dean's list. And so tell us a little bit about managing your schedule, getting on the dean's list, and just sort of what that experience was like, because it seems like you were a pretty smart kid.
Well, I'm not sure if I'm smart, but I do know how to schedule my days. Pretty much when I was in college, my schedule and my section is different from the others. So I really didn't have lots of friends. So basically, what I do is I schedule my time. If I have exam next week, the next week, I have to make sure that I have schedule already of my studying times, which subject I study on Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays before the exam, so that during the exam, at least I am not as cramped as I would, would be. Yeah.
So you're a super organized person, right? And
not.
Are you?
Not really. But
okay. You're good at scheduling. All right. So now from Iloilo, once you graduated, there was not a lot of work in Iloilo, so you moved to Manila, right? And this part of your life that you lived in Manila was interesting. It had some highs, it had some lows, right? You started working, you had health challenges, you ended up starting a business, you ended up borrowing money from your parents. I want you to tell us about that, because that's something very, very important that has stuck with you right through today. So tell us about the highs when you were in Manila, and tell us about sort of hitting the rock bottom lows and the impact of having to go to your parents to borrow money.
Yeah. Basically, when I was in Manila, Paul, I was really young then. So I had been in the call center industry because the semicon industry was down during that time. So when I was in the call center industry, I was blessed to have skills in terms of the technical side. I was into networking also, but networking of computers, and I was working with network engineers. So primarily, I was given the chance to rise from the ranks, and then I got an operations manager rank during that time. But then, of course, since this is a call center, we were operating graveyard shifts.
Yes.
So my health deteriorated, and I went into business that really sucked everything out of me. All my savings, got depleted. My condominium where I purchased during my managerial
Right.
stint got foreclosed, and the
Yes.
truck that I bought got hatak by the bank.
Right. Right.
So primarily everything that I had went down the drain because I wanted to live a life that I really wanted is to have a
Right.
business. That's after my call center
Yes.
stint. So that was a heartbreaking experience for me. And during this time, my parents were having this kind of small savings for them when they come back home in the Philippines. Uh, because it's under my name, I took it
Right.
out to to make the business
Right.
float. But even after I took out that money, the business did not
Right.
work. So that's the time where I hit rock bottom. And because of that, um, I told myself, wow, success is really hard. How can one be successful? So after that broken dream of having a good business, because I was really young then, I thought I can do anything and everything. Uh, After hitting that, I settled. I told myself, kung ano na lang, kaya sira-sira. So I went into stock market trading and down the being a farmer and then a
Right.
Grab
Yeah. Yeah.
driver. So that's when I hit the rock bottom, and I told myself, is this really it
Yeah.
for me?
It must have been tough though to tell your parents too. Like you had to obviously come clean with them and say that you took this money and it's gone, right? And I can
Yes.
imagine, anybody, a young person, having to tell their parents that is probably not a great experience, is it?
Yes. Mainly before I told my parents what happened to me, I was thinking, my sister has condo in Eastwood, and I was thinking, the windows are open, and I was thinking, Jack, is this really it?
Yeah.
But you know what? God, God just told me, you cannot do that. You cannot just go off and throw yourself in the open window, because your parents, your parents might not carry it.
Yes, exactly, exactly.
So yeah, that knocked the sense out of me and just went on just coming
Yeah,
clean to them.
yeah. And it plays an
Yeah.
important part. The reason I'm asking you this, and I know it's emotional, but it plays an important part of your future and the way you are right now, right? So this is great. So this is good. Well, we're just getting to the point where your life starts to turn around. And folks, I know that you guys you've learned a bit about Tan. We've got into her story a little bit, but I think we need to find out more about her. And to do that, we are going to play Fast Talk.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Fast Talk.
It's time for Fast Talk
with PK.
All right, GMD 1010, you know how this works, right? You've got to pick a number between 1 and 9. I'm going to ask you a question. You have to tell me the first thing that comes to your mind. So give me the first number.
4.
Number 4. Okay, here's the question. Oh, I love this. Starbucks coffee or local Iloilo coffee?
Local Iloilo coffee.
Okay, so I knew you were going to say that. Because whenever I come to Iloilo, we go to Starbucks. But next time, you have to take me to the local Iloilo coffee, okay?
Sure.
Okay, all right, so pick the next number for us.
8.
Number 8. Oh, here we go. Iloilo cuisine or Pampanga cuisine?
Wow, that's a hard one. Iloilo cuisine.
Okay, well now why is that a hard one?
Because both are really, really savory and delicious food.
They're both fabulous, but your mom comes from where?
Pampanga.
And your dad comes from where?
Pampanga.
Okay, all right. Okay, perfect. That makes sense to me. Okay, next number, last one. Let's go.
7.
Number 7. All right, to become successful at Lifestyles, was it Tan Tan the engineer or Tan Tan the varsity player?
The varsity player.
Ah, why?
The varsity player would always look up to the people who went before them or had been successful already, and
Right,
then she learns from them. She wants to compete, not really compete, but to play with them more so she'd see the skills.
right, right.
Yeah.
That's kind of like learning from your upline, right?
Yeah. Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
exactly. Okay.
And as an engineer, I really haven't practiced being passionate really to the letter, but for a varsity player, every passion
Yeah.
comes out.
Yeah, yeah. Well, thank you. That's great. I want to thank Tan Tan for playing Fast Talk. I think we did learn a lot more about her in that. So good stuff. Thank you so much for playing.
Thank
All
you.
right. All right. So now you're at the low point of your life, right? But you end up
Yes.
meeting GMD Angie Liwanag, right? And I've known Angie for a long time, and we love Angie. She's fabulous. We've got a great picture here. Now you met her in a church, right? Tell us how that happened, what you first thought of Angie, and what you first thought of Lifestyles when she talked to you.
All right. We met in a church service, and I was talking about passive
Yes.
income and about stocks. And here comes Coach Angie is just being friendly. Um, ano yung iniisip ko towards her during that time is I just thought of her as a friendly person in the
Right.
church. And as she unfolds lifestyles to me, one thing I've learned that lifestyles is not just really a skin deep business. It has substance, and it's deep if you really think about it. The personal development
Yes.
side and all those character building side. So that's what
Right.
hooked me when she used lifestyles
Right.
to me.
So you call her Coach Angie, and she is a great coach. And we have lots of mentors in Lifestyles. And I know that the early days of Lifestyles presented you with a lot of challenges. You were not great, or you didn't feel comfortable talking to new people, right? And you went to a mindset workshop by GMD Ray Mildoy, and he did a
Yes.
visualization exercise, right? And tell us what happened when you did that exercise.
It was devastating for me. I'm not seeing. It was the longest 3 minutes of my life just seeing black.
Well, what did he ask you? What did he ask
So-
you to do? What was the exercise?
He was asking us to imagine what our dreams
Okay.
are, and I didn't have any. That's why I wasn't being able to draw up ideas or dreams in my head and even in my heart. I was thinking, because I've read in the Bible, if people perish because they lack vision. So I was so kinakabahan na hindi ko alam kung anong nararamdaman ko na I'm not seeing
Right.
anything.
Right.
So, meaning to say, I'm good as dead during that time. That's fine. That's why I was crying after that.
Yeah. I know you. That was very emotional for you because, you just felt it didn't work for you, and it made it hard, right? It made it hard to do the business. You were struggling, still struggling, and then you sat down with one of our great mentors, GMD Peng Mendoza, absolutely spectacular person as well. And what did Peng tell you that sort of got you on track? Tell us about that conversation that you had with her.
Yes. During this time, Coach Angie was trying to buy trying to buy a celebrity's house, and I got invited to join them to check out the property. So after that, what we did, Coach GMD Peng invited us to her house for a cup of coffee. And then they were just saying, you know, Coach Angie, she's trying to Robin or to tell Tita Peng or GMD Peng what's going on with my journey. And you know what? Uh, as they were saying things, I really can't remember. This is one thing that I had, because everything got blurry and everything got. It's like when you're in love, everything went
Yeah, I remember that.
great.
Long time ago. Okay.
So because during our time of conversation, um, everything replayed in my head that what happened to me during my failed business days. I have forgiven all of the people around me.
Yes.
Karpintero naming nagnakaw ng oras sa amin, the electrician who got our materials, the wirings, my business partners, and who quarreled with me. So I've forgiven everyone except one person, myself. This is what GMD Peng told me after that moment that everything went just blurry.
Yeah.
I asked her, so Tapeng, GMD Peng, what should I do? And she told me, decide. And I asked her, how can I forgive myself? How do you do it? She said, decide. So yeah, that changed things for me. And the only thing that I know how to do and forgive myself is to pray.
Well,
and after that, things took off.
Yeah. No, I can see that, and it's very insightful for her to be able to just talk to you and give you that advice. It's pretty amazing, right? When things started to take off for you, your big why was your parents, of course, right? And you wanted to give your mother back the money that you had taken. Is that true? Is that what was a strong motivation for you?
Being, at least to give back an assurance to her that I'm okay. That when God takes them home, I'm secured and make proud of me. That's my motivation. The money.
Yeah. No, that's great. I'm sure.
Cost a lot of headaches and heartache.
Well, I'm sure they're very proud of you now, and I know that you've worked super hard to put Iloilo on the map, right? In lifestyles, you love it there. You always wanted to have the PK Tour come to Iloilo. We've got a great picture here. Here we are, and here's your watch party picture. So you have worked to put Iloilo on the map. We've had 2 PK Tours there, both fabulous attendance. You must be really proud and you must be happy of what you've accomplished so far, right?
Yes, I am really proud of the team that we've able to form here in Iloilo, not just my team, but the team of the other GMDs who've united to make those 2 PK tours really possible and really, really amazing.
Yeah, it's fabulous what you've done. And then again, during the pandemic, we've got your GMD picture here. We're going to show people your picture here. I love this picture. And, in January of 2021, during a pandemic, you became a global marketing director and you worked hard to get there. Tell me about the emotion of that and how you felt when you hit your GMD status.
Well, when I hit my GMD, we were kind of overwhelmed, that is, because of the emotions coming in. And we didn't know that we'll hit that GMD soon. Because my projected GMD run is March of that year.
Right.
But because of the GMD mentors that I have, I'll always be grateful to this 2-person global marketing director, Angie Liwanag, and GMD Peng, who worked with me closely even during the pandemics, and the other GMDs who've put up trainings online. We were able to make sure that the 90-day program works. So I was kind of tired because I was going around the island, back and forth, just looking for those people who want to have the business. And you know what? Even though I'm tired, I was just so grateful that we finished the GMD run, because really that run is, yes, it's a pin for me, but it's an honor for my
Right,
island.
right. Well, we're all proud of you for hitting that, and there's so many great, pandemic GMDs that we've had, because it was so difficult, and it was amazing how all of these people sort of pivoted and rotated their business to go online, and it was just spectacular, right? So now your GMD income has been very good, by the way. I love your brand new car that you picked me up in at the airport, and Ilo, that was absolutely beautiful. That's an amazing car. Congrats on that. But we've got some pictures here of all the things that your income has done, your cars, your houses, your investments, your travel. When you look at this stuff and you compare where you are now to what you thought of doing in the condo, with the open windows, and that low point to where you are now, what goes through your mind, what goes through your heart when you think about that journey?
Well, you know what, Paul? All this, sometimes I can't believe I've reached this point, because during the time when I was so down and low, I really didn't imagine I'll be able to be on that level where I'll be able to invest again. But really, during this time, my heart is so full of gratitude to all the people who made it possible where I am right now. And of course, not only the people, but I know that uh, God has been with me through everything that I did. Because the only thing that I always tell him, you are my business partner in
Mhm.
this. So, the journey was amazing. Mind blowing for me. Really, just one story
Yes, of
po.
course.
That sage
Yes.
condominium, I got it recently. I was just browsing through the net, and I looked at it maybe 5 days prior to me buying it. I was telling Coach Angie that I saw this property and I really love it because of its location. Because I've been in Manila for quite some time. I know the trains, I know the routes. And I told her, Coach, I like this. And then she told me, and Coach Peng told me, think about it. And then after that, I went through the Google to check out the reviews of the
Yep.
property, and it was so amazing. I bought it after 5 days of looking at it, and I told Coach Angie, Coach, I can't sleep, so I bought the property so I can sleep.
Well, no, that's great. And I think you told me the same thing about your car, right? You just decided you're going to buy this brand new car. It's spectacular. And all the money is great. Of course, you've got this great income, and you've got these things that are setting yourself up for the future, right? Because you're a very young person. But what about the personal development? You mentioned it earlier when we were talking about the journey of personal development. Tell us a little bit, from your heart, where you were as a much younger person, your mindset, how you thought of things, and where you are now. Tell us about that personal development journey with Lifestyles.
Yes, prior to me going into lifestyles, Paul, because, well, the mentality of an employee, when you reach a manager position, you, well, personally, let me just say it, I became
Yeah.
cocky, I become proud. So I thought I can do things because I was young, I was strong, I didn't have any arthritis. So I thought I'd make it. But you know what? God broke me into that level where I'm really down and out. And I thank God for using lifestyles, for the culture that I don't need to be ashamed of my status during that time, because lifestyles family is just so loving, and really the things that they're teaching there. I was hearing this name of a university, Lifestyle School of
Ah,
Millionaires.
yes.
Really, that's true. That's really true because that there are a lot of mentors there who has also been there down and out, and they rose up. And when they rose, they have character. Their character is more mas maayos kesa sa dati. So I've learned that in lifestyles that you cannot be successful in this business if first you don't love yourself, if because self-love is really needed in this
Yes, yes.
business. Number two, you don't love the people around you.
Right, right.
So I learned it here in lifestyles that um, you have to love the people and yourself in this
Right.
business. So that hooked me actually. That hooked me to stay in lifestyles. I was trying to quit before.
Well, we're glad you didn't quit. We're glad you didn't quit.
Yeah, I did
Yeah,
it.
well, that's good advice, and I ask all the GMDs that come on the leader chat room. I ask all of them what advice they would give somebody who was unsure about lifestyles, like you were unsure at one point, right? So tell people, if somebody is out there watching and they're unsure of the company, they're unsure of the industry, what advice would you give them?
Okay. So this is what I tell them, Paul, which is always what I tell people around me. If you saw lifestyles and you were introduced to lifestyles, I know for a fact that this is God's answer sa matagal nyo ng prayer. Because if it weren't, hindi mo ni siya pagsapakon. I don't know how to do that in Tagalog. Hindi mo siya sisilipin. You won't listen to this. So I just know that there's a reason, there's a greater purpose why you are here in lifestyles. And don't doubt. You are in the best business with the best mentors and coaches and company backing you up in order for you to succeed.
Right.
So, yeah, that's
No,
it. Paul.
that's great. That's great advice. That's fabulous. It certainly has worked for you, 1010, and I just want to say congratulations on all your success. And what's amazing about this is that you're still so young and you've got all of your future ahead of you, and it's only going to get better, right? I mean, it's exciting to think about how big your organization can become and how big your influence can become, and I'm excited to watch you grow further in the future with Lifestyles.
Yes, I'm excited for 2023 and the next few years. I know that with everyone's help, the company, the corporate here in the Philippines, and the other GMDs, I know that we'll soar high in Western Visayas.
We will. So 1010, thank you so much for joining me on the Leader Chat Room, and thank you for being our final guest of 2022. We are going out in style. So I want to wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, healthy, happy, safe New Year, and thanks again.
Thank you, Paul.
And
Happy Merry Christmas and Happy
thank
New
you.
Year.
We'll see you in Ilo soon. Bye-bye. Well, folks, there it is. GMD 1010 from Ilo. Great advice for everybody. The opportunity is here for you. We've got the best mentors. We've got the best support system for you. So if you're thinking of joining Lifestyles, what a great way to end 2022. Start your business today and start working on it, and you'll have great success, I'm sure, in 2023. So I want to thank everybody for a great year. The Leader Chat Room, I want to wish you all a happy and healthy and safe New Year. And we look forward to seeing you again next year right here in the Leader Chat Room. Thank you so much, everybody, and good morning.